Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day, we're the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wanderers.
And King Cal.
Oh, he's the
Coach
king.
of Calvinator. The wheels have fallen off.
Dethroned.
Rattled.
I'm rattled.
You're a rattlesnake.
Shaky. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Anyway, we're here. We're here, lads.
Disappointing week, I guess, for all of us.
It is.
We'll start with the worst of them. That was me.
Good.
21-12.
Yes.
Not a good score because it meant that I went down 900 spots the first week that I've actually gone backwards. So that means my ranking is now 2,848th.
Which is still okay.
Well, Calvin, if I said this 10 weeks ago to you, that's where you'd be ranked.
Yeah.
You'd be over the moon.
I would have been pumped.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
it's not that bad.
No.
Anyway, 20,000s for the week, so that sort of hurt me a little bit there.
not
Roy, actually,
that was me.
Cow was next.
Yeah, so I have dropped in ranking to 221. Okay. What did I score? 21.37. And I slid. I slid about 150 spots.
Yeah, it's no good. Like, we'll try not to make it a flat podcast, but
it's
we
not
all
flat.
slid.
We all did.
We all slid.
Yep.
We don't do that. 21.66, quite disappointing. I slid as well, about 82 spots actually, to 234th.
Here it is! That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
I bought in X.
Yes.
I had to do it. TDK out.
Kissed.
And
Yes,
when
got
he had
lucky.
that 59 points in that second quarter, that was enough time and enough for me with 96 at the main break to go and flick the VC around and do my little loopholing.
Good work.
Thank you, X. And finally, I've got him.
Well done.
Got lucky, didn't you, dog? I'll go next. I had Jordan Dawson for mine with his 138. So he had got a quarter pounder in the first.
Yeah,
Big
nice.
53. We love our players when they've already turned up with a quarter to go.
Yes.
That's elite. So never plays a bad game twice, the big fella. So, yeah, 138.
All right, so mine was, popular trade out by a few. Adam Chera. So Chera's been going all right in the first half, and then he floats around half back and things like that, and it's quite a nightmare. However, this week, he dominated the second half with 74 points
Attaboy.
for that 121.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Zach Merritt.
Are
you kidding me?
That was disgraceful.
54. That's 80 last week.
Okay.
He was at the top of the rolling. Don't what you laughing at? You're the Essendon boy.
Okay.
This is terrible.
Sabotage.
Can you just... Okay. I want you to get in coach character here.
Yep.
So it's post-game. You've walked... The media are in that room. Door gets shut. Zach walks in, your skipper,
Yep.
and looks at you. What actually do you say to him? Do you give him nothing or do you let rip? What do you say?
I'd start off real quiet and just ignore him.
Yeah.
And then I'd go, sit down and shut up. Listen here, Zach. You're supposed to be the leader of the team. And I'd give him all that.
you would?
Yep.
Fire.
Yep. I'll give him full
I reckon
fire.
you'd
Double
glare
barrel.
at him a few times.
I
Yeah,
would.
filth. You'd give him filth
Now,
looks.
what's wrong with him? Roy?
A lot.
When I brought him in, he was M1 of the RR22.
He was. And I thought he was built of tough stuff. I didn't know he wasn't capable of
He's
holding
going
down
for
number
another
one.
year of 110 plus.
Well, here we go.
Number one midfielder draft pick wants it.
Yep.
And I was
dog,
right a couple of weeks ago.
When you saw him score 54, were you...
8. I was hoping Essendon would score 54 as a team.
So
It was so bad.
it was amazing to watch.
It was
because,
awful.
He wasn't even getting
No.
tagged.
No.
The Dogs were just that good that he couldn't touch the ball.
The Dogs are good at the moment.
They are very good.
All right.
All
who's
right.
next?
So mine is, oh God, you're whinging about that guy. What I would give to this bloke in the room.
Oh.
I'm talking shut the door before the other players are in because
Yeah.
this is going to get physical. Since I've had Dacos, he's averaged 82.
Oh.
I bent over backwards, busted my team to get that guy in.
Yeah.
88 he had. That's on the back of 92 and 67 for me. So Dacos is the -3. I'm sick of him. I can't look at him. He's just unwatchable.
He is.
He's gone from must-have to must-not watch.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Easy target always going someone in the last game because when you're trying to chase down Calvinator.
Yeah.
And I only finished, how many points behind you? Not too many.
That's a lot, though.
25.
Oh, that's heaps. That's heaps.
Could have Nasai had 25 more points in the last half? Would it have been out of the question for him to have scored 101
Against the Eagles.
against the Eagles?
No.
No. He has 76, 15 and 12 for the last 2 quarters.
That's incredible for him.
Yeah.
The little midfield role, it's not...
Was he doing that again?
Yeah.
He's a hard watch.
He's a hard watch. I tell you this each week.
Why don't you pick any easy watches?
Like, Rankin, you tell me that he's not a hard watch.
Well, he grabbed
Did you
both
see-
hammies, didn't he?
Oh, did you see him trying to shoot for goal?
No. Yes, I did. That was a hard
I
watch.
missed that.
Oh.
What was he doing?
Just out of bounds on the floor. I think there were 3.
Yeah.
He did take a shot after the siren from about 150
There you
metres.
go.
out,
Well, that's
so that was
smart.
good.
That's smart.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll take that. Now, the issues last week were all about TDK being out. Not for you, blokes, because you had that. So you couldn't have got it wrong. Almost.
No.
So
And
you
if
were-
you have,
So if you didn't have X, he was probably the target to get because you needed to have him.
Yeah.
So 155 he scored. Obviously talked there in the +3 about the 96 he had in the first half. He had 51 hit-outs, and he did that against Nank, who had 47. There was just a massive amount of stoppages. So Nank 150 as well. I don't think anyone was really genuinely going to go for him, but
No.
he was big. He had 13 tackles. X had 12. So it was just a battle of the head-to-head ruck.
just an
Big
old
time,
school
unbelievable.
big man battle.
Yeah.
But the correctest answer,
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a
we'll
word.
use that. And no doubt it will float through the whole fantasy community. It's a word that everyone uses from now on.
Marshall, 158. So he had 62 in the first quarter. And that actually really hurt because he was $100,000 cheaper than
Yes.
X and would have made my buys better and all those little
Yeah.
regrets and the little calculations in the head of going,
Can't
what
get
could have
upset
been.
by a 155. though.
No. So he ended up scoring 3 more points than X. He had 95 at the half. So at least that was 1 point less than what X had at the half. But
Well,
it was just
do
ridiculous.
You know what? There was a halftime update.
Oh, was
he
there?
actually did go down to 95.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
was
he
more.
did say,
Now,
yeah.
I
I'll
actually
take that.
I do need to apologise for my captains.
Yeah.
Because I got them round the wrong way.
Oh, did
Oh,
you?
so they were
Yeah.
1 and 2.
They were 1 and 2, but yeah, should have had them round the other way.
was-
Sorry,
So-
guys.
so
Ruck
Dog,
an awesome weekend.
So it's amazing, especially people that couldn't quite afford X and you had to fall back on
Yep.
Marshall, who actually has the better buy structure anyway. But long term, I think you will be happy
Yes.
with your X over
And
Marshall.
that was almost the decision in the end of what Marshall's got over the next couple
Yeah, it's
versus
nasty.
what we should get from X this week.
Yes.
And then also
Post-bye.
in the buys. Like in the buys, he's got a good run, I believe. Scale
You-
of hardness.
You are correct, Dog. He certainly does.
Bit of green.
Oh, and West Coast straight after the bye.
Oh.
So, yep. It should be good.
Crikey.
So if Marshall can do 158 against West Coast.
We're going to get a 200.
Yeah.
Yep.
Calling it now.
Yeah.
Max gone. We didn't really tell anyone to go there because you were spending a lot of money there, but 117. So that was good. 40 points in the last quarter. English would have been not worth doing
No.
with a 102.
102 is usually nice.
Yes.
Jackson still could have been a decent enough move there if you wanted to go there. I guess the flag was obviously on when the DAS hole is back.
Yeah.
Flinney, 93. Value.
Yeah.
But well outperformed that, as did Vizentini.
There you go.
He
That
was
a bargain.
91.
Yep.
Can he
But it's
hold
all-
out Sweetie and Soldo?
Well, it's all about the matchup. He didn't have an opponent, really.
Well,
No.
he's against Blix.
Mm.
Briggsy got an 85 count.
Oh, you're welcome, everyone.
But what wouldn't have been a good one was Darcy Cameron. So, yeah, the rucks was interesting last week off the back of that. Now, quarter pounders, we do talk about those. The biggest one was one that we mentioned there with Rowan Marshall with that 62, but there were some decent scores. X that 59, so they did those early in their games to set them up for those big scores.
huge,
But
isn't it?
Jeremy Cameron the last because he was kicking snags for fun. He had 57, and yeah, we just saw points galore with a few. And what else? John Newcomb there, Tom Liberatore had one. Oh, Zach Merritt had 54.
Good on you. Good on you, dog.
Sorry, I had all the filters on there, Cal. I thought it was one of the quarters.
That
but-
is some of your best there.
Oh.
So he had 50. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 players scored more in a quarter than he did. for
Libba
the
was
full
in the
game.
same game.
Yep.
And he's knocked up 50
Yep.
in one of them.
I'm trading him. He's gone.
Now, there was 100 points difference, though, between him and Bailey Dale. who had that big 49 disposal game. So 154 for Bailey Dale. He was the correct answer for the Jaden Short because they were pretty much the same price. So that would have been very nice if you did that when he withdrew on Friday, Arvo. So he had over a kilometre metres gained, which is crazy. So 1,016 metres. The record, Aaron Hall. 1,169.
Of course it was.
So,
of course it was.
A bit off topic, but how are your Bombers travelling strategically? So they said they had a couple of plans in place pre-game for Dale. They had a couple of plans.
Didn't. Did they?
They did. And that's how they executed them.
Look, I'm telling you, 154 isn't enough.
No,
for 49 touches.
Not to mention subbing our man off.
Oh.
Why is he their whipping boy? Was it his fault, was it?
We're not here to talk about football. It's fantasy football.
They couldn't score. He had 2 goal assists and then sat. Yet they couldn't score.
I hate Essendon. I hate Essendon with a
fast track this Tasmania Devils team.
I reckon.
Honestly.
Carlton,
geez, we've got an easy out.
They're
Essendon
unlikable, mate.
in Tasmania.
But your team, damn hateable.
Yep. Not good.
Sorry.
Votes for the Michael Barlow medal. Let's get back up and about. Well done to Sam Wicks for getting the 5 votes. He scored 88. So he's had 3 70-plus scores in the last 4 weeks.
It's been good,
not really been an option, but well done. That was his best score of the year. Kane McAuliffe, he scored 86, so that's his second game. So ended up sort of looking like that third banana in the Tigers midfield with 12 centre bounces there. 22 touches, 4 marks, 6 tackles. Nice little stat line for his 86 in the 4 votes. 3 votes, Zach Merritt, 82. Zach Merritt. Sorry. He's on my mind, Cal.
As if he got 82.
Zach Reed. Had 82. So plenty of ball in the back half, of course, for the Bombers. So he had to do a bit. He only had 15 touches, though. But, yeah, he went up another 54.
I can't laugh like I'm happy when you're talking about Zach Reed. Sorry, I'm checking back out. That makes me furious.
2 votes go to Levi Ashcroft, who also scored 82. But just for the record, so people know, the decider is on who scored more the last week, because they get that little bit of a bump.
Well done.
Who plays for Bombers more like it?
Well, Levi Ashcroft, that 82, so he was pretty good, 22 touches there, 7 marks as well. So he's finding space to do that.
He's a good player.
Which is nice. And 1 vote goes to Sam Lawler. I really like him.
Good player.
He's an exciting player to have. If you're a Tiger, you'd be pretty happy with that. With his 81 points came from 16 disposals, 5 marks, 3 tackles. And yes, the leaderboard, Levi Ashcroft is on top with 21 votes at the moment. Zach Reed second in with 17 votes. Xavier Lindsay 13. Riley Bice 12. And Sam Davo, he's coming 5th at the moment with 10 votes. But if I was going to call it now, I think it's Levi's award to win.
I think so.
Although Zach,
He keeps getting it done.
can he end up in the rolling 22?
Oh, stop it. I would never put him there.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
Let's get stuck in the news. Some things from earlier in the week. We had Aaron Francis concussed. Jack Silvani was subbed out at halftime with a bit of a groin.
How many
But he did
knocks
cop-
did he take on the way to that groin?
No concussion, which
No
is
concussion.
good for him with that.
Man, oh, man.
Jordan Boyd, he copped the head knock from a Marty party.
Gone? Is he
So,
gone?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh, I was
he
going
got
to say.
something.
Crikey.
Yeah, and that was deep in the game.
No
too.
free kick
Poor old-
either, for the record.
Poor old
That
Boydie.
just was the theme of that game for Carlton.
Nick Dacos, he got his foot trod on
Oh, did he? Okay.
by Jordan Dawson.
Oh, my God. How many people get their foot trodden on in a game of football a week?
I
Everyone
did see someone tweet
cops a
actually
bit
at
of
the
it.
point, like, he has been mentioned 12 times and he's yet to touch the ball by the commentary.
Yeah, stop it. He's not that guy.
Right, let's play on.
He's not Gary Ablett, is
No,
he?
not
Stop
at the
talking
moment.
about him like he is, please.
go.
Dan Houston, are we ever going to get him? Or does his game style just not work there? But he had his
Something
car
ain't
strapped
working.
up, bit of a corky. Now, then we saw it was crazy on over in Adelaide Oval, just injury central. So start off with Desmosis, not
Yep.
getting Sindez, the Syndesmosis of the ribs.
Yeah.
So he hurt his ribs there. So he was out. They subbed straight away pretty much. Hornbag.
Oh,
Hammy. He'd been out, like he hadn't been at training
All
Pretty
week.
much all week. Yep, with illness, they said.
Well,
But cow, you've got your
Huh?
little
No.
tinfoil hat on.
look, I reckon he was missing because of a little niggle, Roy.
Yeah, do you?
Now, I'm not starting a conspiracy theory here. You know, the Earth is flat. But thing is,
People should know this. Calvin genuinely thinks the Earth is
no. But don't get me started. That's another podcast.
Look, I love a podcast of Calvin's conspiracy theories.
The Earth is not flat, for the record, Roy. Right. I'm just concerned
Does
that...
a Loch Ness Monster exist?
No, that one doesn't.
What about the Yeti?
No.
The abominable snowman?
No. Aliens? Yes.
Yeah, that's
100%. They're there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get
As
to
if they wouldn't be.
Where are we? Horne-Francis.
Right, yeah,
hamstring.
Hornback.
I just think there was something more to it than an illness.
I think it was a combination. I think
Okay.
it was swine flu.
Okay.
Get it? Hamstring.
Got it. Yay!
So they've said it's just
But
a
it's not a laughing matter for the record.
No,
I'm
it's
pretty
not.
peed off about that.
pretty normal sort of hamstring. So they're saying, so they've got the first bye at round 12. I think
Okay.
that he could be back in round 13. So
Not for me.
essentially only misses one game, but it might be a stretch.
He was annoying anyway.
He was. He wasn't getting it done.
No.
Lockie Jones hurt his hammy, which actually affected Bergman, who was
didn't it?
on doing a tag roll. We'll talk tag watch in a bit, but he was. You wrote something.
Yeah, I
down
got it
for
there. Yep.
Good. Anyway, he had to move back, so he was playing on Basilenka.
He was
and
humming.
So, yeah, and he was humming.
He
that
was.
looked like a very good pick until he had to move back there. Dangerfield, hammy. Poor Danger.
Yep.
Yeah, it sucks. He's been good
Because
to
he's
watch.
been good. Jack Bowes as well, hammy there. So just heaps going on in that game.
There was.
4 strings, not good. Finn Callahan, at the same time, 2-4-15 games, don't like that.
No. Had 2 TVs
Give me
rolling.
2 Saturday night ones over 2-4-15.
I reckon.
Anyway, so he dislocated his shoulder. So he's going to have some time on the sidelines, but they have said that it's not a long-term type injury.
Okay.
So that's positive. Toby McMullen hurt his adductor there as well. Artie Jones, your man, Cal, hurt his hammy on Saturday night.
A lot of hamstrings here, dog.
Jaden Short, he was withdrawn on Friday, but then they started talking that it was a calf.
yeah.
What's going on there?
So
Well,
the
too much
knee,
smoke.
calf, they're all connected to the...
The cyst. I don't know what we diagnose that as, but
Anyway, so we'll see whether he's back in this week. They play on Friday night.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's coming off a shorter break too for them. Oscar McInerney was a laid out with soreness, but it was the back. Drew Jones, genius.
he did. Yep.
Called it. Knew it. Oh, Cal, you said you called it, didn't you?
No, I copied it off Drew.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Matt Owies hurt his calf, and then a couple others out of that last game there of the round. Jack McRae sent in for back scans.
Please, God.
Okay. Here's a problem.
You don't go in for
No.
back scans and play
No.
next week.
No. There is a legit problem. Let's get it scanned. Oh, but now I'm okay to play. No, not happening.
No. Scans, they're not cheap. They don't
No,
just,
they're not cheap.
you don't just go for a back scan.
For fun? No.
For fun.
You do, Cal.
I do.
How many things have you had scanned in your life?
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
Missing the most vital.
That's it.
Matt Flynn.
Sometimes you're better not knowing.
That's it.
Matt Flynn. A bit of a shoulder watch there. And then just because I bought him in, the poo.
Oh, you bought in the poo?
Yeah. Bad call, Caro.
That stinks.
Did he run that past you, or was that just something rogue
No,
dog
I
did?
did talk to him about it. He was in a bit of a pickle, a very tough position.
Was he rattled?
You know I was
He
rattled.
was a bit
Because I
rattled.
was cleaning up in the yard.
Oh, you were
And
concussed.
I think I am concussed.
Yep.
I've taken out a massive chunk out of my head.
You shouldn't have been allowed
on
to
a
trade
tree.
for 21 days.
No, I shouldn't have been allowed to trade because
No.
that's where it happened.
Need to scan.
When you are rattled, when there's like a trade,
Yep.
like you got to do it. It's coming up. Game's closing soon. I do silly thing. I'm more likely to hit my head on something, or
know-
drop something, or forget something.
Just I trimmed up a tree, and you get little stabby bits
yeah,
hanging out from it.
No, I've seen you scone.
Oh, it actually really is sore.
Now, scans are expensive,
Cut and a lump.
aren't they?
Yes,
They're expensive.
they are.
Imagine getting that head scanned. Look at the size of his head. They charge you triple.
Yeah, because there's lots of brains in there,
There's not. That's a big head.
unlike yours.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway,
Right.
moving on.
Anyway, he had his hand fighting, Roy. That's what you said.
What's that, sorry?
The
yeah,
poo.
I think he did.
59% time on ground for him, though.
What's
6 and 12. 6 and 12 in the last 2 quarters. So they could have got me over,
Cow.
even if he doubled those. Oh, my God.
I was wondering why you were
What did
grumpy
he have?
this morning.
6 and 12 in the second half. Oh, my.
Not good.
He's not playing.
Ross
this week.
said something about they were being a bit optimistic playing in the midfield. Like, he went into the midfield and was doing that, but just limited time on ground.
That's why you were angry this morning. Now I get it. Right.
I'm concussed, cow.
Yes.
Then I have to sit here and listen to you. MRO, McInerney got a week and the Amati party got 3 weeks.
Good.
That's all we know so far out of that. A couple of Magoo's news things. So, talking Swans, Taylor Adams had a good game. 29 disposals, 7 marks, 3 tackles and 108.
Nice.
But the big story was Callum Mills back in there. Eased back in with 19 disposals, 6 marks, 3 tackles and a goal. Scored 80 and had that sort of pretty much in the third quarter. And
Right. And
probably
then
put
sat,
him nice,
did
I
he?
think.
Yeah, okay.
So
You couldn't. Well, you could. You launch into the poo.
760.
Would you launch into Millsy?
Okay, 759.
You couldn't. He's got vest written all over
He
him.
does.
Yeah. It does mix some things up, though,
It
for
does,
what
yep.
happens for the Swans, I reckon.
Yeah. And I'll
They're
tell
gonna
you
be
what,
hard to-
once you get to the buys, a vest risk isn't as risky.
No.
Is it?
No.
Might as well lose some more cash, though. Hey,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how
I've
it works.
given up with that part.
Doherty in that game, though, Roy.
Yeah.
Does he come back in after they lost another game? 37 disposals, 6 marks, 2 tackles, and 128.
Newsflash,
Yes.
he's too good for that division.
Yes, he is.
Like if it was kids, you wouldn't be allowed to play in it. It's cheating.
Yep.
Put him in the correct division.
GWS,
Far
they
out.
did lose to Freo. Don't know if they make any changes, but Leakey had a 107.
Yeah, boy.
Roaston with that 94 could be a chance, could he?
He
to
could.
come in
Why?
for
What did he-
Finn Callahan.
What did he score?
A 94.
Is he
And-
cooking? Is he
Cooking.
cooking?
Yeah.
Roasting?
Yep. Not bad.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good, though. You've made me hungry now.
I know, that lamb roast.
No, we're going somewhere else today. I'm calling it.
Why?
There's just something not right.
And Stoney, he had 87.
Admit it.
I'm still holding hope that he might play one day again.
Tony,
Yeah.
would he have another 100?
No, 87.
Oh, God, do more, please.
Pig Mitchell, Tommy Mitchell.
Yes.
Couple back now, 87, and he did good pig things,
Good boy.
10 tackles.
Oh,
did he?
That's a hard team to break back into, though.
It certainly is. Who would be vulnerable? Ned?
Your mate Longy.
Yeah. Ned could be
Is
back
he
in a
though?
vest.
Hustwaite, he had a 104 back there. So, 22 touches, 6 marks,
I'm
8
surprised you haven't banned yourself from saying
I
this.
know. I know. Look at him trying to justify it.
Well,
Squeezed him in.
someone might have held. They might have wanted to see. what
Squeezed
he's
him
doing.
in.
They lost.
Yeah, Hockball. Tell him, Cow.
Cow doesn't like Hockball.
No, they're no good.
Nah,
No.
it's not. It's like,
Well, it is.
spit it out.
Used to be good. No.
Yep.
Thing of the past.
And wanted to throw out here a couple of Saints because they did lose. So Zach Jones had 131, 38 disposals, 5 marks and 7 tackles. Good numbers. And Hunter Clark, 115, 24 disposals, 11 tackles. But Boxy, not good enough. I
Wasn't
reckon.
he? Where do the Saints go, though? Like, if you resort to going back to Jonesy, are you going, what
Yeah.
direction is your team going?
Well, what would Ross say? Well, we need to go back to, I don't know. Who knows what he's going to do? Because the poo's not the right answer either at the moment. They might drop him.
Oh.
I don't think that's going to happen. But
No, he'll be out with injury.
with his broken hand.
Yes.
All right.
Tag watch, tag watch.
Calvinator, what do you
rightio.
got for us?
Now, Bedford, Roy, went
Oh.
to Brayshaw.
Did he sit on him the whole game? Because Bray came
No,
home
he
for
didn't.
you.
Thankfully.
You sent
Move.
a lovely little rocket.
I had
because
to.
He had 6 points at the quarter and the sulks. So,
He went back to concrete boots.
yeah, he struggled. But he still got his ton.
Oh, he was amazing
Yeah.
in the second half.
Yep.
Once he was eased of the bed,
Yep.
like he literally puts people to bed, doesn't he? So 3 handballs Bray had.
Unbelievable.
So we all know Bedford's real.
Yep.
But if you're a player who doesn't always cop the tag and then you cop the bed.
Yep.
She's a wake-up call and a half, isn't it?
Whack up call.
Now, Bergman did
You like
go...
that?
Yeah.
I was coming off a bad one. I was nervous
Oh,
throwing that out there.
I didn't quite get it.
Oh,
Just till
really?
then. No, I was a little bit slow on that one. Bergman did go to Bailey Smith.
I'll get that scanned.
I can't hit anything.
No, you can't. So the Berg went to Baslenka, as we sort of expected. But those injuries, as you said, Dog, sort of changed his role. So this week, the Berg, if it's on again, will it be Serong or will it be Brayshaw
It'll be Serong.
Or do they double team?
with Drew? I think it is Serong. He gets it back
You
this
just
week.
can't do that. It just would wreck everything else in your structure. But it's an interesting one. I think it goes back to Serong. And they found out what happens when you don't tag Serong.
He
So
racked.
it's his clearance work in that.
Yeah.
He's just 10 times better at that than Brayshaw is.
So, Serong gets it. Now, Mullen went to Butters.
And was not good. Was that
Butters.
40?
Yeah, 48, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
So old
It's
Mullen
really
can
bad.
tag now.
He can.
He's got Bulldogs this week. So whether he goes and stands with Bond,
Oh.
Libba,
46 cow if you want to be
Bailey Dale.
correct.
Don't know. Someone's in for a day.
So
though.
someone will cop it, you would think. And
Good
they're-
luck.
They've
well,
got so many
good
that'll
luck,
step
though.
up around.
I know.
That's Bond.
I know. If it's Bond.
Well, I don't think it will be. It could go somewhere else.
Mm.
And the other one I want to talk about is, this would be interesting. So Oliver's been doing a little bit of a role. Had a
Yeah.
little bit of time with Neil.
Yeah.
But
It was weird.
they play the Swans.
Yeah.
So will that be James Jordan tagging Oliver,
Just go and sit him in the forward pocket. Just let
who
him punch
would be
on.
trying to
That'll do.
tag Heaney, Chad? I don't know.
Look, Oliver's just so far down the tag pecking order that they wouldn't even bother.
They might not even do it.
No,
but-
Petrarca will get
You would
maybe
think.
a little bit if they're going to roll one out.
Yeah, so tag watch this week, not a lot to talk about, but when he's there. Let's be honest.
When Bedford's playing.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Right.
Right, let's look at some of the issues of the week then. This week, well, Jason Horne-Francis, he's actually the most traded out player at the moment. He's 847K because he went down 74.
Oh,
How are
my
you
goodness.
Off the back of that 11.
generate cash?
So, I guess the question is, or the thing is, he's a must trade. Do we feel like that is the case?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted him gone anyway.
Yeah.
I think there's a few factors here why I feel like he is. Yep, he's going to miss this week. They've got the bye. He could be back for round 13, and that's the could factor that I don't love.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that we probably don't have a decent emergency for him anyway.
I don't think he'd hit a ton in the 3 weeks leading up to his 11 anyway, either. He didn't have form on his side.
No.
So you can hopefully make some good out of this.
I
Is
think
probably
so.
the
That's what you got to do with
the
these
way that we
injuries.
look at this.
Cal reminded me of that on the weekend. He said, "What's something you've always
Yes,
taught
I
me,
did.
Roy?
Yep.
You have to turn these negatives into a positive." And I was like, "Oh, I forgot I said that."
You did.
You are right. You
Yep.
inspired me.
Always right. So, I guess what you can be doing if you're doing a forward move, which is what a lot of people will do, DPP comes into play as well for some, but you probably want someone from the top.
Oh, yes.
So, who is the top? What do we want there? Let's start. I'll tread on your toes, Roy.
Go for it.
Bailey Smith. What? if you don't have him, you got to get him.
100%.
Great
wouldn't
work,
you?
dog.
Break, break the bank for it too.
You're
if
on
doing
today.
that
You would have
from,
to break the bank for it.
Um,
But yes, it's just clearly him. And if for some unknown reason you don't have him, stop taking it on.
Yep.
Just you would have to get that done. The next one, well, there's issues like some people held Shorty, for example.
Yep.
There's issues in the forward and back line with borderline forced trades happening here.
Yep.
So why not get someone that can fill both spots? And that's why number 2, well, it's not why, but number 2 in the Roland 22 forward line is Nick Martin.
and he's probably the premium target, really,
Yeah,
isn't he?
He
That's
is
the one.
Yeah, and he's even walking into instant reward. Like he should
Against
take
Tigers, yeah.
10, 12 marks.
You would
versus the
think so.
Tigers potentially. So Nick Martin is number 2.
Just over $1 million for him.
Yeah, so he's up there in that bracket now, isn't he? He is $1 million player. Petrarca is number 3.
Disappointing game on the weekend,
Yeah,
but yep.
yeah, it was, and he's not a bargain anymore, which makes him
Yeah,
not someone I'd
985.
like to launch into, which is disappointing. Then it's hard watch Rankin.
Yeah, he's a hard watch.
Yeah, he's
I
coming-
could not recommend anyone going into him.
No,
I've done that and probably saved a lot of people.
The forwards, though, they're actually dropping off now. Like,
Yes.
there's not a whole heap of talent rounding it out.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, and it's not someone I'd recommend buying into. One, because of the buys, and two, just because of the team makeup. I don't know how sustainable this is, but Matt Kennedy.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And you're spending too much on him
You
now,
are.
aren't you? Like,
So
that's
it's
the
too
thing.
much. He has to sit forward. But how many years have I banged on
I
about
know.
how good Kennedy is?
Yep.
He's just not played in the right roles. Well, he's playing in the roles. He's playing in all sorts of roles, to be honest, actually, and he's getting it done. So he's 5, and then
Roast rolls?
it's number 6. Who's that?
Right, can you playing all these roles?
Yeah, sorry. Okay. And then number 6,
Yeah.
I'm still crunching numbers on that, to be honest. Warner has been one that's floated through there.
Okay.
So he's an option, only costs you about 40-odd K, 50K.
Oh, back scans is he pops in and out of number 6.
There's
But
no
you,
way
but
he
you wouldn't,
plays.
and you
Yeah.
wouldn't buy into him. If
Hell
you
no,
didn't
you
have
wouldn't
him,
buy into
you
it.
couldn't buy into that, could
No.
you?
So have you guys got any suggestions? But it currently, before I do my final tweaking update, it is Warner who's a bit of
So
value.
50K you pay to get up to him. I think that is a good option because what are their runs all right,
he's
isn't it?
got a great run leading up to
They
his
go
bye.
D's, Crows and Tigers into
Yes.
the bye. So that should be a nice way to do it, coming off a decent score. But, has he been racking up?
Well, he's probably got 200s in the last 5 weeks or something.
Yep.
So it's not a home run.
No.
But F6 is not a home run at the moment. And
So
you
is that-
can't go
So you just need to save coin then, can you? Any other cheaper options?
like Pooh.
Well,
Pooh was the cheap forward guy
Yep.
if you have to go cheap.
yep.
But
LJ's a straight swap,
yeah, see, he's in the mix.
but there's the worry about
is.
There is.
Darcy.
Because it was a
why,
test.
That's why he's only in the mix. And I've tightened up on the RR22 over the years.
You have.
I can't just throw him in there when Big Hole might be back next week.
That's it.
Pickett a straight swap.
Well, he's in the mix.
Had a couple of good scores.
He is. He's in the mix. But once again, he's just burnt so hard in the past once he's ticked all boxes.
Yep.
Peatling only scored that 77. Looked like a value option last week. 8.19. So it's
Yep. Just rode
pay
the
less.
pine too much for my liking.
did.
Seemed to always be seeking a bench spot.
Yeah.
what
Don't
about
like
a
that.
Docker? Shai Bolton, 732K. So that's
Roll's improved.
Roll has improved. So he's gone 52 and 48% CBAs, and his scores have been 97 and 119.
He's another one that's in the mix.
So that could be one if you were
is.
strapped for cash and you needed to do something.
Yeah. They all just come with risk.
They all do.
You just want a safe one bringing in for him. Who would you go then out of like Chad and Bolton?
I'd go and chat every
I
day.
think I'd go Chad.
I'd
Yep.
go Chad every day
Yep.
versus those two. I like Chad's run too. It's 3 really nice games leading into a bye where it feels like we don't have that many in
Feels
that
like an
round.
okay buy
It
to be
does.
working with. Yep.
So he's probably my pick of him if I'm leaning on the RR22 at the
Mm.
moment. If I can't get up to Martin.
Now, of course, a lot of people will have the DPP possibility. Like, do you guys have any mid forwards in your midfield?
No.
No?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
I wish I did.
I've got a
Of
couple.
all
Levi, I
people
think.
not to have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can
Me.
actually do some shuffling. And it might even mean different positions you can shuffle with. So midfield, there are a couple of cheap guys. Caleb Serong, no, we just mentioned that he might cop a tag there. But 884K for him, coming off the back of that 108, that's his first ton in 5 weeks.
That's now cheap enough for me to talk about, Caleb. I wasn't interested in
priced
the
under 90.
discussion over like when he's sitting 9.30 and stuff like that. I was
Yep.
like, nah. Now that's low. That's really interesting.
It is. And a good buy too.
It's much better than that.
Isaac Heaney. So if you like the run that Warner has at 888K, so 122 he scored. That's his first ton in 5 weeks, though.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. But when it's Heaney for 888 coming up against
again,
the D's,
priced under.
Crows and Tigers,
Yep.
he hits 100.
Who would you
out of
prefer in your
those
team,
three.
Serong or Heaney?
Guys, I'm Heaney.
I'm Heaney, I
I'd
think.
prefer Heaney.
Yep.
But I'd get Warner because he fills one of those forward spots.
Yep.
Yep, that's a fair call. What about if you did some backline shuffling? Cost you $100,000 to get to Bailey Dale?
You can't now.
No, You're going to have to go Jack Sinclair over him, though, aren't you?
Yes.
Like, basically the same price, $953K he cost you. His last four have been 95, 61, 95. Then he had that 139, but the Cal scale of hardness is pretty good for the Saints, isn't it?
It is, dog. It is. So, and he was good again. So, what have we got here? St Kilda go. Oh, yeah. So, they got the Suns, Melbourne, and then their bye. And then Bulldogs after that. So, yeah.
So you talk about Sinclair at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking to potentially buy into Sinclair last week.
Yeah.
So I went so deep as to look where he was getting his possessions.
Okay.
All right. So I think he had like 2 back behind in the back half.
right.
It was all forward of the ball, half forward. This is 2 weeks ago when he still put together a reasonable score. This thumping 139 was done all behind the ball.
That's where we like it.
It was across half back again and stuff. If that's continuing, he is the bargain of the week.
Yeah.
If he's playing back behind the ball, and it hurt Nasiah, obviously, because he was more up the ground. If Sinclair is back there, we launch into that.
Yeah.
So that was actually his this weekend was Sinclair's most CBAs he'd had for the year.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And then pushing back.
So it was very nice. Yeah, Nasiah did feel like he was up the ground a little bit further. Still went back and took a kick in,
without
though.
a doubt he
Nasiah,
does.
of course he does.
Not enough, though.
But yeah, that's. I think he's the one in defence. If you were looking for one there,
Same.
that Jack Sinclair for $100,000 more than you're getting for old mate. Who are we trading out? Horne-Francis, that guy.
Yes.
Now, a couple of other players worth mentioning as some trade targets, and I think we'll probably Kitty Coleman. He should be on everyone's shopping list. So 68% time on ground he had, so he's eased back in as such, and only 55% in the last quarter, but he was good. To get a 70...
It was good enough.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is. So he's 538K, so it went up a little bit, but he's better than having your trainer, your Bice, whoever, and you can make some coin.
Make over 100K from those guys.
It's just a good buy play too. So you get him in for one of those floundering rookies, and you have him until the last
Round
buy
16 buy,
and flick him off again.
Yep.
So he's a bit of a no-brainer, I feel like, if you were doing that and you needed to gain some cash in some way to make your move from Horne-Francis a better one.
Yeah.
If you were looking in the midfield, Angus Sheldrick, so 62 in the first half.
Huge.
We got pretty excited
He's
about that.
got a little bit of piggy about him.
He does.
442K he is. I think my issue with him is essentially that you've got Mills likely to be back in.
Yeah.
He's a whipping boy.
He is a whipping boy.
And obviously what happened in that second half was not...
Nah, so
That's
we
his
don't
story.
mess around. You can't mess around in the midfield either, I don't think.
And our downgrades are just looking really light on. Would you go 313K for Cooper Simpson still? He was good. He
You
scored
might have to.
64.
Yeah, I think he's the only one you'd go
59
to.
the week before, so his break-even's at -9.
But he moved forward,
He
did he?
did. He was forward a bit.
Yeah,
I don't like
so a bit of a
that.
different change there, Cal.
Yes, I didn't like that.
No.
He was
Anyway.
gifted a bit of a goal too in that, wasn't he?
Yes.
Archie Wicks, so he was better in his second game, so scored 48 and stayed on the ground, unlike Saad,
exactly.
who was subbed out.
Good
so
matchup.
he's at 256K. Bombers aren't too bad with the buys because they've got the last buy. So if you're riding him through as one of those extra bodies in your team to be looking at. The thing is, like a player like McRae, who does play the last game of the round,
Oh, here we go.
and we don't know this stuff. Like, do you shadow jump and just cover it by having your bench? Because if you're already trading out Horne-Francis, whatever you're doing with that might actually require some other play with the trade. And we'll talk our trades in a moment. But, you know, you've probably got two that are working nicely for that.
Yeah.
And then at the moment, well, let's say he's playing, it's all good. But then there is a laid out and you don't have
It would be nice
that cover.
having at least Cooper Simpson sitting there
Yes.
as a 50 or 60 to cover him. But this McRae thing, surely we find out from a back scan if he's either in or out. Surely.
Yeah. I can't see him playing.
I'm never going to get these rookies off the ground.
No.
How are you supposed to do it?
Get him off the ground or get him on the bench.
Oh,
Can't get him anywhere.
can't.
No.
Oh, well.
It's been a crazy year for that.
It looked like they were going to be off 2 weeks ago when it was all smooth sailing. Enter Shorty. Enter McRae.
Doesn't
Enter
take
Horny
much.
Bag.
Yep.
We cooked it.
And a rookie crisis.
And a rookie crisis.
Great game, this.
Awesome.
Let's have a look at the most traded players ahead of round 11. Early doors, Kitty Coleman. He comes into a lot of teams at the moment. Cooper Simpson's there. Nick Martin is looking like that choice for the Horne-Francis trade with Chad Warner and Jack Sinclair. All very good names. I guess all names that we've talked about in this podcast.
Correct.
To be picking up.
We never miss.
No.
We never miss.
No.
Maybe the notes came straight from
There you go.
most traded. Who knows? Most traded out, of course, Horne-Francis is being let go because of his injury. And then we've got Bice, Cleary, Caleb Daniels in there with Luke Traynor as well. So those rookie-type guys, they're probably the way you're facilitating getting in Coleman.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then your Horne-Francis going to one of those premium guys.
It'll be very popular.
It will be.
Very popular.
What are we doing? We're all getting rid of Horne-Francis.
Yeah, I am. So I'm going Horne-Francis to Sinclair
Okay.
because I'm pretty convinced he's staying back behind the ball now, and Traynor will go to Coleman.
Well, I'll be going Horne-Francis to Nick Martin. Good matchup this week, and Traynor will turn into Kitty Coleman.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to back in Traynor through necessity, but I'm going to be getting rid of Bice instead, and so it's still with the Coleman and Nick Martin coming in. I think that gets us in a pretty decent position with what it is, but geez, the cash gen, the worry, we're still watching on Jack McRae.
Oh,
That's an
gosh.
issue.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
Tweet. Let's get into them. We've got a few questions here. We'll do our best. I didn't even load these ones up, so I'm doing this off the seat of my pants.
That's the best way to do it.
Best way to do it.
That is. Let's go. In Instagram is where I'm going to start because we love our Instagram. This is from Hayden. I've Callahan and Jason Horne-Francis out, so 2 forced trades there by the looks. I have 143k in the bank. Who are my options in the forward and mid? So with that cash, you've actually got some options there.
You do.
So I guess what we've just talked about. Who would be your first one in the forward line you'd be picking? Cash not an issue. Martin.
Martin's the one.
Second one, is it just going to Chad?
I think so.
So then you're not spending all that cash. Then you can put that other cash on top of Callahan.
And just get... God, who do you get? Who's the number one target in the midfield at the moment?
Check your rolling 22, Desroy.
Yeah,
So
well,
Callahan's
I've
at
got to do some work on that.
956. So if you did play
Well, Dunkley is actually.
Yeah.
So this is a tough one. Who would you go into? Merritt
No.
versus the Tigers
Should be.
is going to be big.
Surely, Roy. 54 and 80 in the last 2 weeks, though.
I bet the person that asked that with the 2 forced trades didn't realise that Jack McRae's gone for back scans either. They'd have McRae.
Yeah, well.
3 forced trades coming your way.
Who would you hold out of those guys?
Depends on what the scan comes
Well,
back for Jack's
yeah.
back.
If the back comes back as spinal,
well,
yes. You might end up holding the bag.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not good.
Not good.
Would you go Heaney for Callahan? Would you be happy to do that move here for Finn?
I'm ticking that off.
Yeah.
Yep.
For the price.
Yeah.
And and what he did last year. I know he hasn't been great this year, but it's still Isaac Heaney.
888. That's so
if he
cheap.
had a kick straight on the weekend,
Yep.
he would have had a huge score.
I feel like we get this every week, but is Will Setterfield an option?
Did he do it again?
What
In
did
that
he have?
Shellacking.
So he's 960.
That's
He had
just
a-
too
that's
much, I
too
think.
much.
He had a 97.
Yeah,
He's going at 102.
Yeah, he's going really well.
player.
I wouldn't do it for that price.
No,
mate.
and the team. Yep.
Here from Doms, mustn't have Horne-Francis, but Bice to Kitty and Traynor to Blix.
Oh, the Blix. I was hoping someone would talk about this. Hey, he did it.
He did it.
again.
Yep.
Now, and that was with a very quiet last quarter. So he was on track for a 120 plus. Took advantage of one of the easiest ruck matchups.
Yes.
But he's also got easy ones to come. Like his draw, the Cats' draw for rucks is really good.
It is.
Now, we've seen him dominate in this role in the past, but then for unknown reasons, or obviously Chris Scott knows why, but he would change that role on him like the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Now, thanks. Here all week, actually. We're always here. But the thing is, yes, it looks great, and I think, yes, it's worth a punt.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if for some unknown reason it changes.
Good call.
Geez, I'm funny.
Sam, thoughts on Hornbag to Martin and Fino Sullivan to Sheldrick? Yeah?
Yeah.
You'd have to have the faith that Sheldrick's going to be there, though.
That's the problem.
If you're getting Sheldrick, you have to have something to hide behind. If you're calling it hiding behind the buys because it helps your structure, I think you can do it.
Yep.
But he worries me. He's another one who gets vests and all sorts. Yeah. He's a whipping boy.
Oh, Finn, I thought he was on track for a good one.
He started
had
well.
20 odd in the first quarter, and I thought, here it is.
Because you have been his number one ticket holder since the start of the season.
Yeah, and I tricked too many people into it,
You
and
did
I've
get
still
me
got
with
him
that one.
myself. Well, I still got him. Have you got rid of you? Good coaches like you, Cal, would have got rid
Yeah,
of
gone a long time ago, mate.
Fino Sullivan.
Yeah.
Kane, I've got no idea what to do this week, boys. Currently bringing in Dawson and Simpson for Horne-Francis and Cleary.
Yep.
Yeah. Leaves me with Bice, Trainer, Langford and Ashcroft, I guess, on field is what he's talking there. Bice, yeah. Trainer against the Bombers, but he did get subbed out, obviously.
Well, that's the thing.
Langford and Ashcroft are totally fine to have on field at the moment.
So Trainer, he should be fine against the Bombers.
You would think so.
But Trainer also shouldn't have ever started in that green vest. And it's weird that you'd give him that red vest. So he can go. Don't be surprised that he gets back to what he is, though. A nice little 75.
Now, it is a night game, so Bolter won't be
of course.
playing. So
No, that's a huge
that helps him a
uptick.
little bit as well.
Don't say anything, Roy.
I'm not going to,
Don't.
other than Trainer is in a good position to go okay.
Yes. Yep. There you go.
Criminal.
Move on.
Joking.
Beck.
But seriously, he is out.
Beck just says on Instagram, imagine trading in Merritt this week, and it's got that like sinking face, melted face type emoji thing.
yeah.
Which actually is probably what your scans would come back at if they did that.
I have had a brain scan.
I
have.
What did they say?
Not a lot.
We couldn't find anything. We couldn't find anything. Oh, phew. No, we couldn't find anything.
Try again. Try again, I said.
That was good, dog.
Not bad for dog.
That was very good.
Yeah.
Right, Nick wants to go Horne-Francis and Gross. Who was sub again there?
He
to
was.
Martin and Day Wicks on field.
No.
Or would you do Kitty and Bergman? Ugh. Kitty's fine. Bergman, I'm just worried about.
There is reason for concern.
Yes.
He's not. There's not as much chance of upside as there was last week with Bergman because those injuries might mean he actually starts back again now, and he doesn't seem to score well back there, does he?
No.
Quite a few questions about our man Shai Bolton. I'll just say Alfred's here. Shai Bolton, big boost in CBAs the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is he a serious option to replace Horne-Francis? Well, it pockets you 100K.
Yeah,
It does.
That's handy.
far out it is. If that's the 100K you need to do something on the other side that looks good, well, I think you can do it.
You can.
And we keep saying he's got a nice buy as well. If we get too many of these nice buy guys, it becomes very unpleasant that round for you. But depending on how you're structured, he does have that nice buy as well. It could be a buy play. You could hide behind that. CBAs and buys.
Yep.
Now, Fantasy Freak King says, thoughts on Shai Bolton or Luke Jackson? I guess we've said both of them. If you were choosing one of them, who would it be?
Bolton.
I think it is.
I've got more confidence that he's going to keep getting CBAs.
They've worked out
that that stagnant little midfield of theirs than Darcy not returning for a week here or there.
Darcy could be back next week.
Yeah.
Jamie's actually taken a photo of this from the AFL record. Thoughts on Jace Burgoyne's one rule change in this week's footy record. It says, one rule change, kick-in doesn't count as a stat.
Who said that?
Jace Burgoyne.
Jace. You know better than that.
Come on, mate.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, all right.
Burgoyne said that. Yes. Does he not know his...
He needs to know his law. He needs to know his history
You stop that.
of what your
That
dad
is-
and your uncle.
So if he
Goodness
doesn't
me,
want,
they would never have said such a thing.
and if he doesn't want the kick, don't play on, mate.
Do you know that would be pretty exciting in a fantasy preseason? Like looking at
Can't say
the
that.
stats and going, oh, they're not counting them now. So what that changes?
Yeah.
Okay, Jace Burgoyne. He's had 6 kick-ins this year.
Oh, it's because he's getting bullied out of doing them.
He's played on every time.
Of course he has.
Yes.
He doesn't like that he... Oh, Jace.
Jace.
Talk to Pete. Is Pete his
Hang
dad?
your head.
Is that...
He's Pete's son, isn't
Oh, Pete.
Yeah.
Come on, rein him in.
Rein him in, all right.
One of my favourite ever, all time,
Yep.
Pete.
Not anymore.
he? Johnny wants to know if Bailey Dale keeps playing this way, will he eventually replace Max Holmes in the rolling 22? Holmes is just too inconsistent for my liking.
Yes. He's
Have
up
I currently got home?
He's up and down so much.
Let me...
Holmes feels like he should just be there, but
He does feel like he should be. That wouldn't be surprised me if I have him at D6, which I do, but he won't be next week. He's
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I can't keep putting up with this sort of behaviour. So Holmes was 6 last week. He's out this week.
Sam Parry's got this one. Horne-Francis to Sinclair, Trainer to Coleman. Is that the same as your moves, Roy?
It is.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well done.
We
Trade
have
of
it-
the week.
Snap.
Yeah.
We have a, matching.
Is it time to get rid of Ned Long?
Yeah, if you can, if you're in a luxury position. So I was actually doing it last week in the end. I'd gone through all my trades and I was willing to cop the lies and deceit call from you guys this week.
Yep.
Because I was like, nah, I'm just going to actually get rid of him. I'll count him as a rookie and he's gone. But Shorty changed that. So yes, I was getting rid of him. He sits far too often. He's tradable.
He's made you cash, and if you can be
I like it.
doing something out of it, like, and this is almost
That's
goes
the
into Dylan's question here. I started the season with Darcy Cameron and Max Gone with the lack of rookies coming through. Do I trade down to X and or Marshall to make coin, or do I wait till their buy to make the move? Interesting. So you've got 2 blokes that are worth a fair bit of coin there in Cameron and Gone, and you go into the value, if we want to call it value, of X and definite value of Marshall. If he keeps doing this.
You just wait now till X has had his buy, don't you?
So you go...
You couldn't
So
do
Cameron
it.
and Gone will have the buy. Where's my little buy planner?
Yeah, where are they?
So Cameron is round 14 and Gone is round 15. So essentially, as soon as they've had their buys, that's when you get them. But then obviously their value won't be the same.
No, but you can't do that now. You couldn't go.
It's good thinking though.
Oh,
this
it
is
is.
how we're going to have to be creative with some of our stuff.
We're going to
Like-
have to generate cash this way, but I just don't think you do it in a week where then in 2 weeks you're watching X have the week off and Max scores 120 and you're like, oh, that would have been nice, wouldn't it? You can't do it now.
No.
Sauce, save sons. Took annual leave after your advice last week. Had the best day up in the NT. So
There you go.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, on
changing
our
lives.
20 years of us doing this stuff next year, maybe that's part of our world tour that how good would be seeing a game up in Darwin?
Be awesome.
Be very
Let's
fun.
just dedicate our whole year to fantasy.
Yep.
Like, let's take no school and we just tour around watching games.
Yep.
It'd be great.
We
Go
should
up and
do
see
it.
your brother. He's up in Darwin.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
up there.
Free accommodation
Yep.
up there. Sweet. Yep, okay,
Do a bit of
consider it locked
fishing.
in.
Yep.
We're
Now-
taking annual leave
We
too.
are.
Caleb, is Cow's boy Colby an option? He had midfield minutes. Now, what did
Yeah,
that
10
look
damn
like?
tackles, I know that.
Yes, he
He
did.
was good. So what did he have there? Colby, when we say midfield minutes, he only had 7% of CBAs. But that's second time he went in there.
He
So,
was lightning, though.
for the year.
He was.
He did look good.
his
He
zip
did.
was
He's still
back.
playing the role that he's forward of the ball too.
And Coles isn't getting 10 tackles a game.
What caused that?
Don't
though?
know. They must have just fell in his
Did
arms.
they just or did they say, Colby,
Yep.
you're so quick,
Pick it up, mate.
smack him, tackle him.
Is he an option? He's cheap.
He's cheap, all right.
Probably need to see another one.
Yeah.
Now we want to pick up Zach Merritt cheap, I reckon.
Oh, here we
After
go.
that.
But
Do you
Ty
know-
goes, can you go early on Merritt for the Tigers matchup?
I feel like he's going big.
He's bounced back after Cal gave him those glares in the
I
change
reckon.
rooms after the game.
And
Then
they
threw him up against the wall.
they were embarrassed beyond belief.
The Bombers.
They could lose to Richmond.
No, they won't.
Hang
The
on,
Bombers aren't losing to Richmond
No,
after that.
They won't.
mate.
So Zach cannot go under 120 this week.
So people were saying, "Oh, I can't believe you got him in because he sits forward."
Yes.
He had 81% of the CBAs.
People were saying that to you.
Yeah, I was copping it, Roy.
Your world has changed.
I know it has. It's a
Now-
horrible
now
world
that-
I live in now.
Now that you're actually like better than a lot of people, this
lot,
is the
yeah.
sort of crap you'll cop.
They come after me.
No, they would. They used to like it when you sucked.
They did, yes.
Oh, big, friendly, cuddly cow. And now they're like, oh, he's a threat.
Yeah, they hate me.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Jesse, there was one game left playing against the Warn Dogs in the matchup.
Oh, yeah?
100 points down.
Right.
You think you're going all right there? 2 players against each other. So he's 100 down,
Yeah.
and he's got
Oh, no.
Marshall versus the Pooh. So he's beaten me by 8 points.
Got him!
What were the odds on Cowbet on that one? I would have been hot favourite.
No, you wouldn't have been.
Have you guys
would've-
ever received a tweet from someone saying, oh, well done, you got me in this epic battle, this is what happened? I never have.
No, never.
Yet that kind of one, I'm inundated with.
Yeah.
Just when you're already unhappy with your team, you open up socials and find out you lost 50 more matches by...
Josh Guy on
2 points.
Instagram wants to know who's your bigger priority to get off field? Bice, Pryor, Lindsay, Ashcroft. Well, Ashcroft, wipe him off. Bice, Pryor, Lindsay.
Pryor, Lindsay,
Yeah.
Bice.
So Pryor's just a 55 to 65 guy. I only got to get through one more week with these.
We
guys,
do.
but
And Bice saved it again. He had a 28.
So Bice has got
quarter.
decent matchups.
Yeah.
So does
technically
does
Pryor
Pryor.
does.
Yep.
what does
And,
Lindsay
and
do?
you can just throw them. They're just only in the back line anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's Lindsay that
Lindsay
goes.
can go. Yeah.
Noah Anderson, we sort of mentioned him before, but would you go him
Oh.
instead of Chad?
I like that Chad is forward. Forwards drop off so quick.
Yep.
Chad's serviceable. I just think there's so many better than Noah when there's not many better than Chad in his position.
So Noah had that 116, but it was 82, 81, 78 prior to that.
Yeah, I'm not going.
They go Saints this week.
Yeah, so he'll be good.
He'll be good.
He's a good player, but there's a lot of midfielders I'd prefer to Anderson.
Agree.
Mm-hmm. Will Short be back? Do we know anything on that?
No,
No.
don't know. Don't know anything about him.
No.
Don't even know what it is. Calf,
Cyst.
cyst.
Callan Murray says, why does everyone have to be injured? This is what it's like, isn't it?
Yeah, we've hit a point in the season where we're inundated with injuries. We've got no downgrade targets. We feel like packing up shop. But we've got 3 trades a week.
We do.
And best 18.
Come on.
That's right around the corner.
Angus says, is Wanganeen Miller okay? He went off twice.
He did,
Yeah,
yes.
he looked
Oh,
bit of
no.
a hammy. Or
He
something,
sat a
I think.
lot in
Oh,
the
you
last
joking?
quarter. No, a
Oh,
lot in the last.
Dog, you're going to lose
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
Horn, Nasiah, and Pooh.
And McRae.
And McRae.
Yep.
Oh, no.
And I've got no bench.
Oh, I can't come into this office later in the
Join
week.
us when we go live,
Oh,
6:15.
Don't.
Chatty.
I don't recommend that.
No, don't join us.
Sound the alarm and I'm leaving the room.
Will Cleary rebound? Well, he bloody needs to because he will be playing for the Dogs this week, the way it's going.
Oh, no. Cleary ain't clearing at the moment.
No.
Yeah, you tricked me into that one.
Sorry, but he
But
did.
at least he's playing because whoever else I
Well,
went.
that's true.
Oh, well, there it is. Far out. Leave this on a dampener now.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
Bloody
realise you were
peanuts.
losing 5
No.
players.
Maybe 6.
Boys aren't far away. We've got our 3 trades per week coming up from that. So this is our last sort of normal round. 2 trades, our normal on-field 22s. But then after that, we will be getting our 3 trades per week, and it will be best
Oh,
18
Can
from
I
your
just say
22.
something? There ain't no normal best 22 for you this week.
We usually hate the buy rounds, but I can't wait.
Oh,
Like,
It just needs to come 1 week earlier.
it does, especially for Dog, at least.
this is not.
Dacos looked a bit sore in his foot.
Yeah, though we get
And his
DPPs.
shoulder.
Yeah.
No, his pec, sorry.
We get DPPs next week as
Hip.
well.
Oh, I love that.
But I don't
do.
think there's going to be much going on.
There was
except
so
for
many last
Rosie.
time.
Oh.
Rosie's the big one.
Yes.
Oh,
So when you're thinking about it,
nice.
make your plans around
That's a
that,
good
knowing
call.
that he will be heading
back.
back for a lot of teams.
oh, nice. I like that.
Here we
a lot.
go.
All right, thanks very much for tuning in. Hopefully your week's a great week coming up.
Nah, you'll be fine, mate. You will be fine. None of that will actually end up happening.
No, you'll be right.
Good luck and happy.
Happy trading!